Welcome to our second game here today in the Captain D's Surf and Turf Classic Tournament. Sophie Mooney is up to bat for the Nighthawks. Nighthawks already lead this one 1-0 after Mallory Parker is able to send Jolie Lester home on a RBI double. Lester was able to reach base on a hit and stolen base. Parker sent her home, and Sophie Mooney now faces a 2-2 count as she sends this one into left, and that will be caught for the first out of the inning. The Nighthawks are the visiting team here today. This is their second time facing off against Catawba this weekend. Coming off a 11-3 run rule win against Emmanuel College just about 30 minutes ago. As Georgia Blair is going to step up, takes ball number 1. That ball is going to be inside, ball number 2. Riley Tucker is getting the start today for the Catawba Indians. This player is going to send this one behind second base. And that's going to be caught by Courtney Carter for the second out of the inning. Mallory Parker still standing on second base. That's going to bring up Katie Ward. Indians infield consists of Carrie Hells at first base, Courtney Carter at second base, Brianna Gallinger at shortstop, and Molly Strider at third base. As Ward sends this to Carter, and that's going to be fielded cleanly, and the Nighthawks are retired, but not before Mallory Parker can put the Nighthawks up here early, 1-0. We'll be right back here with you on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to Dahlonega, where Riley Tucker, the pitcher, is going to lead things off for the Indians in the bottom half of the first inning. She'll face off against Delaney Heberlin, who is getting her first start here today in the 2024 season. She throws a first pitch strike. Heberlin has appeared once this season, going 2.1 innings against West Alabama. Had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Gave up no hits in that outing, as she going to give up one here to Riley Tucker. That one's going to be in the gap in the left center. She's heading towards second. She's going to stand up there for a leadoff double for Riley Tucker. That's going to bring up left fielder Brianna Hearing. She sends this one, chops it to Katie Ward, who fields it cleanly and throws it to Sophie Mooney for the first out, but Hearing is able to advance Tucker to third. That's going to bring up Brianna Gallinger, the shortstop. Heberlin had a impressive 2023 season, got herself on the second team Peach Belt All-Conference team. She throws ball number 1. She had a 2.17 ERA, 12 wins, 2 losses. Pitched 78.2 innings, giving up 62 hits, 21 runs, 19 earned, and 55 strikeouts on the year. As she throws another ball, this one high and outside. Indians are threatening to tie this game up quickly. Riley Tucker on third with a leadoff double. And Gallinger fouls this one straight back. Gallinger hits this one deep into right center. That's going to be caught and thrown in, but not before Riley Tucker can tag up and tie this game up 1-1. Not shy by Gallinger to hit that deep into right field. Mallory Parker was there, but Tucker is able to easily come home and score. So this game is knotted at 1 apiece. That's going to bring up Carrie Hales. That's going to be inside for ball number 1. Sophie Mooney is at first. Katie Ward at second. Madison Cosgrove at shortstop. Gracie Mixon at third. And Sadie Johnson is behind the plate to round out the Nighthawks infield. That's a changeup that's going to be hit and fall in the gap in left center. Jen Hales is headed towards second. She's going to slide in safely. The throw in from Lester is not in time. So another double for the Indians. This time a 2-out double from Carrie Hales. Lester was able to get that in quickly from her left field position, but Hales did a nice job to slide in safely. Sydney Blair is in center field today, and Mallory Parker rounds out the Nighthawk outfield. That ball is high. This is Mallory Strider, the third baseman for the Indians. Heberlin gets her swinging on that one. 1-1 count. That's going to be high from Heberlin. 2-1. Catawba comes from the South Atlantic Conference. This one is hit softly to Sophie Mooney. She's going to step on first to end the bottom of the first inning. The Indians are able to even things up 1-1. We'll be right back here with you on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to Dahlonega, where Sydney Blair is stepping up to the plate for the first time here today. Swings at that one, so 0-1 count for her. The freshman sensation from last year, now in her sophomore year. Blair was a first-team All-Conference member and was also selected to the second-team All-Region and the NFC A first-team All-Region. So great year for her, and was picked to be on the preseason All-Conference team. She slaps that to Carter, who's going to field it cleanly and pick up the first out of the inning for Riley Tucker. Tucker is a senior infielder and pitcher. She's from Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. She was selected the preseason second-team All-Conference selection at utility/pitcher. Last season, she was an NFCA second-team All-American who led the league with a 4.68 batting average. She throws a ball to Gracie Mixon. Tucker was able to earn a run back after giving up one in the top of the first. Got herself a double and then came across the score. Doing it all for the Indians here today, as that one's going to bounce in the dirt for ball number 2 to Mixon. Mixon's a reliable, steady player for the Nighthawks. Can play third base. Has also been playing some shortstop, as that's a hole that Coach Davenport's trying to fill here this season. That ball is fouled off by Mixon. Mixon was a first-team PBC All-Conference member selection last season. Mixon fouls this one again, straight back. 2-2 count. Tucker delivers. This one inside 3-2 count now for Mixon. Riley Tucker got the loss yesterday against the Nighthawks. Picked up her second loss of the season, as Mixon fouls this one off again. Tucker pitched 3 innings in their first matchup, gave up 9 hits and 5 runs. That one's going to get away from Tucker, so a 1-out walk for Gracie Mixon. That's going to bring up catcher Sadie Johnson. Sadie played in yesterday's game against West Georgia, but did not play earlier today and did not play in the first matchup against Catawba, as she takes strike number 1. A little bit of relief duty for her, saving the legs of Georgia Blair. She faces an 0-1 count now, and that one's going to be drive into left field, right into the glove of Brianna Herring, as Gracie Mixon is going to have to make her way back to first. So 2-away now for the Indians, as Madison Cosgrove is going to get her first plate appearance today. Cosgrove came in against Catawba to pinch run and played a little bit of second base in their first matchup yesterday. She takes the first pitch and fouls this one over the first base dugout. North Georgia is on a 7-game win streak to start the season, as Cosgrove has a big hack at that one and swings and misses. 0-2 hole for her, 2 outs. That's going to be just outside for Cosgrove. 1-2 count now. Tucker looking to end this inning with a minimal damage, with only Gracie Mixon reaching. And that's going to be fouled off by Cosgrove down the left field line, as Herring is going to go collect it in the corner of the wall. Cosgrove's going to foul this one again, but going to be playable and caught by Carrie Hales for the final out of the inning. The Nighthawks are unable to add any more runs, so this game stays 1-1. We'll be right back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning, where Courtney Carter is going to lead things off for the Indians, facing off against Delaney Heberlin. Heberlin fires one in there for strike number 1. Looks like Sophie Mooney forgot that she had a guard on her leg. Might have been wearing that to get ready to hit, but she doesn't need that, standing there at first base, so time is called. That's going to be outside for Delaney Heberlin, 1-1 count. Carter was 0 for 2 against the Nighthawks in their first matchup. That's going to be in there. Nice changeup from Delaney Heberlin, 1-2. Catawba lost the first matchup yesterday against the Nighthawks 6-1, but then was able to rebound and beat Emmanuel 11-4 as Carter fouls this one back again. Play West Georgia later today at 4 p.m. As Delaney Heberlin's going to pick up a strikeout there. First out of the inning, he's able to get Carter swinging. I was going to bring up number 12, Madison Taylor. Our changeup from Heberlin is going to be low this time. Hits the dirt, and Johnson has to fall to her knees to catch this ball. North Georgia's day will be done after the following of this game, but still 3 more games this weekend as this one sits at Cosgrove, and she's going to field that cleanly and retire Taylor for the second out of the inning. A lot of action going on here in Dahlonega, Georgia this weekend. We have a baseball game going on, kicked off at 12 o'clock, playing Salem University. They were able to win the series yesterday with 2 doubleheader wins as Heberlin fires a strike for the first strike to Nia King. Also have some basketball action going on. The women's team is kicking off in about 30 minutes, and the men's team is number 6 in the nation will be following them as this one's hit softly to Cosgrove, and she fires it across the diamond and in time as Heberlin is able to get 3 quick outs. Nighthawks will be back up to bat when we come back on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to Dahlonega, where Jolie Lester stepping up to bat for the Nighthawks. She's going to face Tucker for the second time here this afternoon. Gets a ball. She was able to reach in her first plate appearance, got a hit, also recorded a stolen base, and came around to score the Nighthawks' lone run here today. As she sends this one into foul territory. 1-1 count for Lester. Lester was a first-team Peach Belt All-Conference member and also received the first ever Golden Glove Award winner the inaugural year. She sends this one into the gap in the 5-6 hole, and she's able to record her second hit against Tucker. So Lester's aboard with no outs for Mallory Parker. Lester has seen the ball very well off of Riley Tucker here today. 2 for 2. 2 solid hits for her. Mallory Parker sends this one right back to Tucker, and she's going to fire a second, and that's going to be not in time for the double play, but Tucker is able to get the lead out. So Mallory Parker is going to be at first. Going to move her to 1 and 2 on the day. That's going to bring up Sophie Mooney. Mooney is 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out. She takes ball 1. Mooney was 2 for 4 in the first matchup against these two teams. She came around to score twice as well. Looking for her first hit here today. As Parker takes off, and that ball is going to be fair. Squeak down the third base line. He's going to send Parker, and Parker's easily going to score. And Sophie Mooney's going to be standing up on second. So a 1-out RBI double for Sophie Mooney to give the Nighthawks back their lead. The score is now 2-1. Sophie Mooney gets out to barely say fair and finally gets herself an RBI here today. That's going to bring up Georgia Blair, who's DHing today for the Nighthawks. So for 1 with a fly out. She's going to watch that one low and outside from Riley Tucker. So the Nighthawks are able to respond right back to the Indians after they were able to tie this game up back in the first inning. That ball is going to be low and outside from Tucker, 2-1. That ball's going to get away from Taylor, and Sophie Mooney is going to read that and does a great job to advance herself to third. 3-0 count for Georgia Blair. That's going to be 4 straight balls to Georgia Blair, so she's going to reach on a 1-out walk. Runners on the corners now for the Nighthawks. That's going to bring up Katie Ward, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out. Ward had a nice day in the first matchup against the Catawba Indians. She was 2 for 3 on the day, looking for her first hit here today. Had a solid start to her year. Playing second base for the first time in her career. So that's going to be strike number 1. Nighthawks were honored at the state capitol last Tuesday for their 2023 national championship. Got to meet the governor and go to the Senate and House to give some speeches. Pretty cool experience for them to show off their rings and a nice opportunity to honor the 2023 national champions. As Katie Ward faces a 0-2 hole now. She's going to foul this one as Georgia Blair was taken off on the pitch and going to have to return back to first. Looks like we're going to get a mound visit from the Indians here. Looks like the pitching coach saw something that she didn't like, so she's going to go have a chat with Riley Tucker. As Allie Lyerly talking to Tucker. After this weekend, the Catawba Indians will face off at home against Belmont Abbey in a doubleheader on February 13th. And they'll be home again the following weekend. They're going to play Shippensburg and Lees McRae. 2 games against each next weekend. Hoping to get an upset win here today against the number 1 team in the country. But the Nighthawks are threatening here with runners on the corners and Katie Ward up to bat. Ward's going to send this one softly to Carter and going to be out, but not before Sophie Mooney can cross home. So the Nighthawks are able to extend their lead. They now lead 3-1 thanks to a RBI by Katie Ward. That's going to bring up Sydney Blair, the sophomore speedster, with Georgia Blair on second. Infield playing relatively in on Blair. She chops this one to short, and she's going to beat that out. And Georgia Blair rounds to home and is able to dive back safely. Thought about taking home, but quickly went back as she realized Madison Taylor was holding the ball at home. Not shot by Sydney Blair. If she hits that ball into the dirt and hits the ball twice on the ground, she's most likely going to be safe, and does a great job to make that ball bounce twice and easily beats that ball out. So that's going to bring up Gracie Mixon now. Sydney Blair is going to take off, and they're going to throw it down. It gets past the second baseman and the shortstop, so Sydney Blair is going to advance to third. Nighthawks now lead this one 4-1 as Georgia Blair is able to come home on that miscue. Looked like the second baseman, Courtney Carter, was supposed to cut that ball off, but hits her glove and then gets past the shortstop, so Sydney Blair is able to advance to third, and Nighthawks now lead this 4-1. That ball's outside for Gracie Mixon. Just a little too far inside from Tucker. 2-0 count for Gracie Mixon. Sorry, 3-0 count. Mixon send this one into the gap in right center, and that's going to score Sydney Blair. It's Mixon's headed for a second. She's going to get an RBI double. Puts the Nighthawks up 5-1. That's going to be the day for Riley Tucker after that RBI double from Gracie Mixon. That's going to bring out Alex Backey. Alex Backey is a sophomore from Sanford, Florida. She pitched yesterday in the matchup against the Nighthawks, had a solid outing. She pitched 3 innings, only giving up 3 hits, 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts on the day. Kind of similar game for Riley Tucker, giving up 7 hits to the Nighthawks. And 5 runs. Becky was able to come in yesterday against the Nighthawks and shut things down, keep them relatively quiet, only giving up a 1 run when she came into the game. So it's a very similar situation to yesterday. Now she's going to face Sadie Johnson. She takes strike number 1. Johnson is 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out. Becky's up in this count 0-2 after several foul balls from Johnson. 2 outs here for the Nighthawks. Gracie makes it on second. This ball is going to get away from Becky. 1-2 now. That ball is going to bounce in the dirt. 2-2 count for Sadie Johnson. Riley Tucker moved to third base, and that's going to be hit high by Sadie Johnson. It's going to tail away from the right fielder, but she's done a nice job to track it and keep it, but not before the Nighthawks can tack on 4 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. The lead is now 5-1. We'll be right back with you here on the Nighthawks Sports Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nighthawks lead this one 5-1. They're able to tack on 4 runs in the top of the 3rd. The Indians were able to answer back after the Nighthawks took the lead in the top of the 1st inning. They're able to answer with a run of their own, hoping that they can answer back here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. With Savannah Balderson leading things off for the Indians. She has a 1-1 count. It's going to be inside for ball number 2. The crowd was wanting that called as a strike, but Ump was reluctant, so it's 2-1 count now for Balderston. Ball's going to be low and out from Heberlin, 3-1. So far through 2 innings, Heberlin's has given up 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 run, as this one is skied to first base. Sophie Mooney's there to collect that for out number 1. It's going to bring up Riley Tucker now. 1 for 1 on the day with the double. Came around to score the run to tie things up back in the first inning. Hasn't had much success on the mound against the Nighthawks, but not many pitchers do, as that one is fouled again. 1-1 count. This one's hit hard off Sophie Mooney's glove. That's going to be fair. Tucker's heading for second, and she's going to make her way to third as that ball is in the corner. And she's going to get a triple. Add that to her double already today, and Riley Tucker is having herself a day at the plate. Puts herself on third base with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Sophie Mooney was unlucky with that. Almost got her glove down there, but that one snuck past her and went all the way into the corner of the field, and Mallory Parker had a hard time getting over there quick enough before Tucker was able to reach third. To bring up Brianna Hearing, who's 0 for 1 on the day. The ground out. Takes a first strike from Heberlin. It's going to be a hard line drive in the gap, and that's going to get through, and going to be a RBI single for Brianna Hearing, as Riley Tucker is able to come home on that hit that snuck past the diving Madison Cosgrove. So Indians are able to cut into this lead. They now trail 5-2. It's going to bring up Brianna Gallinger. That's going to be a little high from Heberlin. 1-0 count for her. Another ball inside from Heberlin. 2-0 count. Indians have done a nice job today responding and bouncing back. Still not done this inning. 1 away. Already scored 1 run. Run on first with Hearing at first. And this is going to be hit back to Heberlin. It's going to be a double play for the Nighthawks to end the inning. Nighthawks get out of a little bit of a jam. Not before the Indians can add 1 more run to their total. So Nighthawks lead this one 5-2. We'll be right back here with you here on the Nighthawks Sports Network. Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning where Madison Cosgrove is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks. The number 9 hitter here today takes strike one from Becky. She swings at this one, fouls it straight back. Madison Cosgrove is at shortstop here today, as she is the fourth different Nighthawk we've seen at shortstop here this afternoon. In game one, we had Hannah Chisholm start things off at short, and then Gracie Mixon moved over, and finally Riley Moody came in the last 2 innings, and now Madison is the fourth Nighthawk to appear at short here today. Definitely a position that Coach Davenport is trying to fill. He has filled second base with Katie Ward, replacing Hannah Forehand, but still looking to replace Maddie Perry over there at shortstop, as Cosgrove fouls this one straight back. Cosgrove is 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out. She waits on this changeup and sends this to right field, but that's going to be caught by Balderson for the first out of the inning. So the Nighthawks are back to the top of their lineup with Jolie Lester, who's had herself a game so far today, 2 for 2, 1 run and 1 stolen base. And she takes ball 1 high. Lester's been a key contributor for the Nighthawks since her freshman year, in her third year now, junior. As she strokes this one's going to land down right in front of the right fielder. So Lester goes 3 for 3 on the day, gets herself another single. Seeing the ball really well here this afternoon. That's going to bring up Mallory Parker. Parker is 1 for 2 on the day, had a double, an RBI, came around to score Lester back in the first inning. That ball is high from Backy. 1-0 count. Christina Brindle is now catching for the Indians as well. That ball goes a little bit too far inside, 2-0 count. Brindle is a junior from Concord, North Carolina. As Lester takes off on the pitch, and that hit Mallory Parker, so Lester is not credited with a stolen base, but now runners on first and second for the Nighthawks, 1 out. It's going to bring up Sophie Mooney. Mooney is 1 for 2 on the day, scored a run, has an RBI, and also has a stolen base. That one's going to be high from Backy. Becky delivers a strike to Mooney. The final day of the Captain's E Surf and Turf Classic Tournament was canceled for tomorrow due to incoming weather. The rain is holding off right now, but it's supposed to pick up here in the next few hours, hoping that we can get the final 3 games in here for this afternoon. Nighthawks will be done after this game this weekend, but the Indians still have another game here today against West Georgia at 4 p.m. That's another low ball from Becky. 3-1 count. Mooney sends this one into shallow right, and a nice diving catch by the right fielder. And Lester's able to tag up on that nice catch by Balderson out there in right field. So Mooney is retired. 2 outs for the Indians in the top of the 4th inning. That's going to bring up Georgia Blair. The ball was tailing away from Balderson and right, which is a nice job to track that, and ended up having to leave her feet to make the catch. And Parker's going to take off, and it's going to be a no throw essentially as Courtney Carter cuts that off, hoping to catch Lester, but Lester stays on the bag at third. Oh, and 1 count on Georgia Blair. The RBI opportunity here for her. She sends this one straight back over the press box. Oh, 2 count for Georgia Blair, and she again fouls this one back. This time off the third base dugout. The first game, Georgia Blair had tons of foul balls, all going to the left side of the field. Had long at bats, but a lot of nice battles for her, keeping herself alive. As she again fouls another one back, still 0-2 for her. Nighthawks have 8 hits here today, compared to the Indians' 4 so far. Becky hoping to retire the side and get out Georgia Blair. She's going to do just that. She gets Georgia Blair to chase on a rise ball. Nighthawks are held scoreless in the top of the 4th inning. We'll be right back here with you for the bottom of 4th on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Delaney Heberlin is still on the mound for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the 4th inning. She's going to face off against Carrie Hales. Hales chops the first pitch, and that ball is going to bounce over Mixon. Mixon was able to get a glove on that, but that just went right over her head. Not much that Mixon could do about that. That's going to be counted as a hit for Hales, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Had a double in her first appearance. Now it's going to bring up Molly Strider, who chops this one foul. 0-1 count. Nice change up from Heberlin, but goes a little bit too in the dirt. Good block by Sadie Johnson. Heberlin delivers another ball. Two and one count. That ball is going to be a little bit too high from Heberlin. 3-1 count. Strider is 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out. Started the day at third base, but got moved to the DH spot when Riley Tucker got pulled from pitching and moved to third base. And Sadie Johnson attempts to pick off Hales, but not in time. 3-2 count for Strider. And that's going to be called ball number 4, but the whole dugout was yelling at the umpire on that call. Aaliyah White especially was fired up, the pitching coach. She wanted that call for Delaney Heberlin, but the umpire didn't like it, so runners on first and second for the Indians. No outs. Sadie Johnson had a quick little chat with Heberlin. She squares the bunt, and that's going to be strike number 1. It's Courtney Carter now up to bat for the Indians. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Looking to lay down a bunt to advance the runners. She squares around again, and this one's going to be popped up and foul. Sadie Johnson couldn't get her mask off quick enough, so Courtney Carter lives to see another day, but she is in a 0-2 hole. Until she is unable to lay the bunt down. That ball's going to be driven into shallow center. It's going to bloop in front of Sydney Blair, and Carrie Hales is going to come around to score. So a RBI single from Courtney Carter cuts the lead to 2 now for the Nighthawks. The Indians still have an opportunity to do some more damage with no outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners on first and second still. That's going to be another attempted bunt, and that one's going to pop Sadie Johnson in the face. Looks like she's going to be walk this one off a little bit. Looks like she's going to be okay. It's just a little shaken up on that foul bunt attempt. This is Christina Brindle now for the Indians, getting her first attempt here against Delaney Heberlin. She fouls this one straight back. 0-2 count now for her. Heberlin delivering the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be outside. Nice stop by Sadie Johnson. 1-2 count. Brindle had 2 walks in her appearances yesterday. She fouls this one to Sophie Mooney. Still a 1-2 count. One, two from Heberlin, a little bit high, 2-2. Heberlin gets Brindle to swing again. This one's going to be fouled straight back into the stands. Still a 2-2 count. Tybee Denton is now getting loose for the Nighthawks in the bullpen. This one's hit right back up the middle, and they're going to send the runner. She's going to get there in time. An RBI single from Christina Brindle brings the Indians within 1 run here of this game. Score is now 4-5, UNG leading after 2 consecutive singles from the Indians. It's going to bring up Anaya King, who's 0 for 1 on the day. She squares around the bump, pulls it back. This will be ball number 1 from Heberlin. They're going to call time, and it may be the end of the road for Delaney Heberlin as Aaliyah White makes her way out. Doesn't look like it is just yet as Coach Davenport walks over to the bullpen, but makes his way back to the dugout. Looks like Tybee Denton is still putting her shoes on in the bullpen. Coach Davenport is looking at his lineup card. I think he may be making a change, maybe taking Sophie Mooney out to get loose. So Heberlin still is in a jam here. No outs. Already given up 2 runs here in this inning. Runners are on first and second. She's got Brindle on first and Carter on second. Throws a strike to King. King squares the butt and she fouls this one. 1-2 count. The Indians have been unable to get a bunt down here in this inning. It's worked out for them, though, so far up to this point. Carter and Brindle couldn't get the bunt down, but were able to get 2 back-to-back singles to put the Indians within 1 run of this game. King hits this one softly to Mixon, who's going to throw to second. Katie Ward attempts to throw to first, but double clutched. So runners on the corners for the Indians, 1 away. Savannah Balderson's now up to bat for the Indians. 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out. She squares the butt, and King's going to take off, and no throw from Johnson. So another runner in scoring position for the Nighthawks. This ball is hit high into foul territory. Heberlin throws the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be inside again, 2-1. Indians are threatening to take their first lead of the evening. 2 runners in scoring position, and that's going to be ball number 3 for Heberlin. This could be the last batter that Delaney Heberlin faces here today, with Riley Tucker up to on deck, already 2 for 2 on the day. This one's hit to left deep, and Lester is there at the warning track, and Carter tags up, and so does King. Indians are able to tie this game up 5-5, as Carter is able to tag up on the deep fly ball from Balderston. And we're going to have a change, a couple substitutions. It looks like Mary Steele Brumby is now going to be at first base for Sophie Mooney. And Sophie Mooney is going to come into pitch now. And Sadie Johnson is also done for the day behind the plate. Georgia Blair is now catching. This is Sophie Mooney's first time on the mound here at Dahlonega for the 2024 season. She was second in the Peach Belt with an overall ERA of 1.79. Figured that Coach Davenport would make a change after Heberlin gave up a couple runs here in this inning, and facing off against Riley Tucker again, who's already had 2 solid at-bats against Heberlin. Looking to change things up. Give Tucker a different look with Sophie Mooney. Tucker is an ideal batter up for the Indians here. Already 2 for 2 on the day. Had a leaguing 4.68 batting average. She takes ball number 1. To end the last season, Tucker had 8 home runs in her last 11 games. A senior, very experienced player, and looking to put the Indians on front here for the first time this weekend against the Nighthawks. This game is now 5-5, with both teams having 8 hits on the day. That one's going to be in the dirt from Sophie Mooney. Nice block by Georgia Blair. 2-1 count to Tucker. Mooney was the Division II championship most outstanding player in Division II, and the Nighthawks won their national championship last season, as she is in a 3-1 hole to Riley Tucker. That one's going to bounce from Georgia Blair, but not too far. That one's going to be thrown to Mooney, and that's going to be in time. Anaya King tried to swipe home, and that ball was not far enough away from Georgia Blair, as Mooney tags King at home to keep this game tied 5-5. We'll be right back here with you on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the long in the top of the fifth inning, where this game is now tied 5-5 after the Catawba Indians were able to plate 3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Almost took the lead, but Nia King was tagged out at home to end the inning and end the Indians' threat. Nighthawks were able to keep this game tied as Katie Ward sends this one into shallow right, and that is going to be caught. A great play by right fielder Savannah Balderson. Came a long way and dove into foul territory to make that play. Of course, the first out here in the top of the fifth inning. That's going to bring up Sydney Blair, who's 1 for 2 on the day, reached on a single, had a stolen base and a run. She pops this one. Linfield is playing very far in on Sydney Blair. Last time I was able to beat out a hit to shortstop Gallinger. That ball is going to be slap foul again. 0-2 hole for Sydney Blair. Backey has done a nice job again here today against the Nighthawks, coming in relief for the second day in a row. She's only given up 1 hit, had 1 strikeout. No runs allowed so far for her. That ball is going to be outside of Blair. 1-2. The ball is going to be high and inside to Sydney Blair. 2-2. Catawba has most of the momentum here today after tying this game up 5-5, and fantastic play to start this inning by Balderson in right field. Nighthawks have been in one other close game so far this season. They played Valdosta State last weekend and only won that game 4-2. Another close one here. Tie game 5-5 as Sydney Blair takes another ball. Blair doing a nice job battling this at bat. 3-2. We're going to give the Nighthawks a base runner. She slaps this one, but it's going to go foul. Nice line drive hit just past the glove of Riley Tucker over there at third. So we'll do it again. 3-2, 1 out. Here in the top of the fifth. That's going to be strike number 3 as Sydney Blair watches that one go by, and Backey is fired up after that one. 2 quick outs for her. Nighthawks are losing the momentum farther and farther in this game. As Gracie Mixon will now step up for the Nighthawks. She's 1 for 1. Has a hit and an RBI. Had a double. And also walked in her other plate appearance. She takes ball number 1. Mackey's looking for a quick inning here in the top of the fifth. Hoping to send her hitters back up with all the momentum as Gracie takes a second ball. Mixon waits on the changeup, and that one's hit to Balderson again, who able to make the play. Another pitch that is tailing away from her, but Indians are able to get a quick 1-2-3 inning. We'll be right back here with you on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning here in Dahlonega. Sophie Mooney is still on the mound in relief for Delaney Hebron as she has 2 quick strikes on Brianna Hearing. Hearing, the left fielder, is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Also had a ground out. That ball is going to get away from Mooney. 1-2 count. Emmanuel and West Georgia will be playing here about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. That ball is tipped and caught by Georgia Blair, so that will be a out for Sophie Mooney. That's going to bring up Brianna Gallinger. Has the RBI, sac fly. She chops this one soft to Madison Cosgrove. It charges that and easily able to fire it across to Maricel Brumby for the second out. 2 quick outs for Sophie Mooney in this Nighthawk defense. Looking to keep the Indians off the board for the first time in 2 innings. They were able to score 1 back in the bottom of the third. They were able to plate 3 in the bottom of the fourth to tie this game up 5-5. Carrie Hales swings at that one low and in the dirt. Hales is 2 for 2 on the day, has a double, and also came around to score. Mooney is able to get her swing in. She fouls this one right back off her. 0-2 count. Mooney's looking to match Backey, who's able to get a quick inning and keep any runners off the base pass as she gets Hales to swing again, but this one again fouled off her foot. Still an 0-2 count for Hales, 2 outs. That one gets away from Mooney. 1-2 count goes behind Hales. Again, a little wild pitch from Mooney. This time goes high and outside. 2-2 count. Hales does a nice job to hold away from that one. 3-2 count. Nice at bat from Hales. 3 straight balls she's watched by. That was going to be slapped foul. Right into the hands of her coach. Mooney delivers. This one's hit hard to Madison Cosgrove, but she is there and fires it across the diamond to Mary Seal Brumby for a quick 1-2-3 inning for Sophie Mooney. We'll be right back here with you for the top of the 6th inning on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning where Mary Seal Brumby is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks, getting her first at bat in this game after she came in for Sophie Mooney. As Mooney headed to the mound to replace Delaney Heberlin. That one's going to be high. 1-1 count for Brumby. Becky has still only given up 1 hit in 2.1 innings of work, as that one is fouled off by Brumby. 1-2 count. She has kept the Nighthawks scoreless in 2 full innings of work and came in relief in the top of the 3rd where the Nighthawks were able to score 4 runs. Jumped out to a 5-1 lead, but the Indians were able to storm back as Brumby fouls this one into foul territory, and that is caught by the first baseman, Carrie Hills, for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Madison Cosgrove, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Had 2 flyouts. She watches that one high from Becky. Ball's low and inside from Becky. 2-0 count. Lester is on deck for the Nighthawks. He's been a perfect 3 for 3 on the day. Hoping that Cosgrove can get on in front of her to give her an opportunity. That ball is fouled. 2-1. That's going to be low from Backy. 3-1 count. Nighthawks looking for their first base runner here this inning. Haven't had one since the top of the 4th. Cosgrove's going to watch that one. 3-2 count now. And Cosgrove just gets a piece of that one to foul that one off and stay live in this at bat. So battling 3-2. Three-two pitch from Backy. Cosgrove fouls that one straight back. 3-2 still. Cosgrove, the sophomore infielder, getting her shot at the shortstop position. Would love to get a hit right here and make herself a difference maker in this game. And then she's going to get on base with a 1-out walk. Nice at bat from Cosgrove. That's going to bring up Jolie Lester. Like I mentioned, a perfect 3 for 3 on the day. Looking to go 4 for 4. Has a lone hit against Backy. As Cosgrove doesn't even steal, but Brindle attempts to get her out at second, even though she did not take off. Cosgrove did have a hard first couple of steps, but was never attempting to steal. As Lester is ahead in the count, 2-0. And Lester drives this one in the center. That's going to be off the glove of Anaya King. And Cosgrove's going to make her way to second. So Lester is a perfect 4 for 4 on the day. Gives the Nighthawks 2 base runners. A nice attempt there from Anaya King out there in center field, but just hit off the tip of her glove and snuck past her, so Cosgrove and Lester both reached safely. That's going to bring up Mallory Parker. Nighthawks hoping to take the lead here with the top of their lineup up to bat and a runner in scoring position with Madison Cosgrove on second. Parker is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI double. She's also hit by a pitch and has a stolen base today. Spikey's able to throw a first pitch change up for a strike. Parker sends this one high into shallow right. Cosgrove's going to tag. She's going to reach in safely to third. So Parker's able to advance the runner as Lester takes off towards second, and now Cosgrove is caught in a pickle, and she's going to be tagged out as Coach Davenport is extremely frustrated with that little run down. Nighthawks were threatening, but some base running miscues is going to end the threat for the Nighthawks in the top of the sixth. We'll be right back here with you for the bottom half and the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the sixth inning, where Molly Strider is going to be up to bat for the Indians. She's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Came around to score. She takes ball number 1 from Sophie Mooney. Nighthawks threw themselves out of that top half of the inning. Lester took off towards second and hopes to create some magic and get a run scored, and Cosgrove came off the bag at third, and the Indians were able to tag her out to end the Nighthawks' threat. The Indians are able to score a run in this inning. They'll be 3 outs away from an upset here in Dahlonega. Mooney throws another ball, 3-1 count. A big cut from Strider, and Mooney gets a strike from her, 3-2 now. Looking to retire the first batter for the Indians. That ball is going to be low and away, and she's going to get a walk. No outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Looks like we may have a pinch runner or hitter. Looks like it's going to be a pinch runner for Molly Strider over there first. The Indians were very fired up over there in the dugout. They can feel that they're close to getting this win and getting this upset victory over the number 1 team in the country. It's going to be up to Courtney Carter. Now for Catawba. She squares the button. It's going to be fouled over Georgia Blair's head. That's number 5, Callie Parker, running at first for the Indians. She would be the go-ahead runner here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Indians. She squares again. This one's going to be hit to Mixon. She's going to fire to second. It's going to be in time, and Cosgrove tries to go for the double play. Not in time, but nice heads-up play by Gracie Mixon to grab that button and fire it straight away to second. Get the leadoff runner. Mixon is very, very good at picking up that button and firing to second, keeping the opposing teams from being able to execute a sacrifice bunt. As Mooney gets a strike. As she faces Christina Brindle. That's going to be in the dirt, but Brindle swings at that one. 0-2 now for Sophie Mooney. Runner on first for the Indians. 1 away. This one's hit softly to Mary Steele Brumby, and she is not going to get there in time as the runners are all safe. Courtney Carter advances to second. Looked like Mary Steele Brumby wanted to leave that for Katie Ward, and the indecisiveness of going for that ball cost her. That's going to bring up Anaya King. 0 for 2 on the day. Another ball from Sophie Mooney, but a nice block from Georgia Blair. Indians are open to still a victory here in Dahlonega from the Nighthawks. Get their first loss of the season as Kings take strike number 1. So very early in the season, this would be a huge win and a momentum boost for Catawba. They head into the rest of their season. That's going to be another strike from Mooney. 2-2 now. And a big strikeout from Sophie Mooney gets Anaya King to swing. 2 outs now for Sophie Mooney. Keeps the runners at first and second. That's going to bring up right fielder Savannah Balderston, who's done a nice job in the field. Made a nice couple catches diving as she takes ball number 1 from Sophie Mooney. Mooney will be up as the leadoff for the Nighthawks in the top of the 7th inning, followed by Georgia Blair and Katie Ward. Hoping to keep this game tied, so when they come up to bat that they can be the ones to take the lead. The rain is starting to come down here in Dahlonega as Sophie Mooney's going to call time and dry that ball off. Rain has held off here but now it's coming down pretty hard as fans are looking to take cover. That's going to be a ball for Sophie Mooney. Could play a factor in here for her today. Hoping to keep her hand of the ball dry. Has 2 away. Doesn't want to give the Indians any momentum as that ball's in the dirt and blocked nicely by Georgia Blair. 3-1 count now. With a dangerous Riley Tucker on deck. And a huge strike there from Sophie Mooney. Loads the count up 3-2. Big moment here for Sophie Mooney and Savannah Balderston. Big battle. Mooney delivers a 3-2. And a huge strikeout from Sophie Mooney. Ends the Catawba Indians' threat, and the Nighthawks will go to bat at the top of the 7th, with this game still tied 5-5. We'll be right back here with you on the Nighthawks Sports Network. Welcome back to the top of the 7th inning here in Dahlonega. The rain is still coming down ever so slightly. Sophie Mooney is going to lead things off here in the top of the 7th, hoping to take a lead here in this final inning. Got a huge strikeout to end the bottom of the 6th as Backey is still on the mound for the Indians. North Georgia has their 3, 4, and 5 hitters up to bat. As Mooney sends this one into center, and she's going to round first but head back as she's able to get a leadoff single for the Nighthawks here in the top of the 7th inning, as that was just what the Nighthawks needed here in this one. As now Georgia Blair is up to bat for the Nighthawks. Sophie Mooney over there at first is a big threat to steal. The Nighthawks now have the opportunity to take the lead back that they squandered in the bottom of the 4th inning. The game has been tied 5-5 since the Indians were able to tack on 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Georgia Blair waiting for the pitch from Alex Backey. Came in on relief for Riley Tucker. As Blair sends this one high to short, and Gallagher is there for the first out of the inning. That was the last thing the Nighthawks needed there. Was a ball popped up where Sophie Moody could not advance. It's going to bring up Katie Ward. Oh for 3 today with an RBI. As Mooney takes off on that pitch, and that ball gets past Gallagher, but Mooney was on the ground, couldn't get up fast enough. Perfect pitch for Mooney to take off on. That was a change up from Backey, so Brindle had no shot at Mooney. With that, still Mooney is in scoring position. Katie Ward can get this ball down in the grass somewhere. That ball is high from Backey. 1-1 count. Katie Ward sends this into the gap in right center, and Mooney is waving around. She's going to stand up scoring, and Katie Ward is going to slide into second for a RBI double. And the Nighthawks take the lead here in the top of the 7th inning. They now lead this game 6-5. Their first lead since the top of the 4th inning. Just what they needed here in the 7th inning to take the lead back, 6-5. Excellent job by Katie Ward to put that ball on the grass, hits the wall, and she's able to get herself a double. That's going to be a pitch hitter now for Sydney Blair. Chloe Poss is now up. The sophomore was able to in the game for the Nighthawks in the first game against Emmanuel. She hit a 2 RBI single to end the game and win their first game here today in run-rule fashion. Caroline Branch is now running for Katie Ward at second. As Pass takes a big cut at that one. 0-1. A 1 from Backey. It's high. 1-1. Rain is still coming down here in Dahlonega. Going to be tough for pitchers to grip the ball. We're hoping they would hold off here today, but it's not, as Poss sends this one to the shortstop, Gallagher, for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Gracie Mixon with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Mixon is 1 for 2 on the day, has an RBI and a double. So that ball rides high on Gracie Mixon, 1-0. Caroline Branch down on second would be a huge run for the Nighthawks. Had some insurance here as they head to the bottom of the seventh. 3 outs away now from victory after the Katie Ward double puts them ahead as Mixon takes ball number 2. Mixon pretends to bunt and then pulls it back, and Branch takes off and steals third. Nice little fake bunt steal from Coach Davenport and the Nighthawks. As Branch is now 60 feet away from giving the Nighthawks a 2-run advantage as they head to the bottom of the seventh, hoping that Mixon can put the ball in play. That ball is going to be high from Backy, 3-1 count. That one's going to be a changeup in the zone for Backy, 3-2 count now. Caroline Branch still on third. And Mixon fouls this one straight back, and Brumby on decks catches that ball and flips it to Brindle. This will be a huge out for Backy if she's able to keep this deficit to 1, give her hitters a better chance. As Mixon again fouls this one straight back. This one's going to be tapped foul, and a diving effort from the right fielder is going to be not in time as she fully extended but was unable to reach that ball. That's Grace Flynn now playing right field. Came in for Savannah Balderston. Nice effort from her, but unable to catch it, so Gracie Mixon gets another opportunity. Still a 3-2 count. It looks like Gracie is going to reach base after, I believe, Backy took too long. So a violation of the pitch clock. So that puts Gracie Mixon on first, with Mary Sill Brumby with the opportunity to get RBI, and Mixon's going to go on the first pitch. Runners on second and third now. No throw down from Brindle. A hit from Mary Sill Brumby could put this game out of reach for the Indians. She slaps this one. It's going to be a little blooper caught by the shortstop Gallinger. So Nighthawks' threat is ended, but not before they're able to take a 1-run lead thanks to Katie Ward's RBI double. We'll be right back here with you for the bottom of the 7th inning on the Nighthawks Sports Network. Welcome back to Delonga for the bottom of the 7th inning. Nighthawks lead this one 6-5. Sophie Mooney came around to score last inning to give the Nighthawks a 1-run advantage, as she is going to take the mound and hopes to get 3 quick outs to give the Nighthawks their 8th consecutive victory to start their 2024 season. As Catawba is looking to make a few changes. Looks like Coach Brady Tigert and the umpire discussing some changes. As Riley Tucker is going to lead things off for the Indians. Their leadoff hitter, who's had a very good day today against the Nighthawk pitching. This will be a big out for Sophie Mooney. She's able to get leadoff senior Riley Tucker. She gets her swing in at that one. That one's going to be fouled back. 1-1 count. He delivers a ball low and outside, 2-1. Tucker has already had a double and a triple here today. As she watches another one low and outside from Sophie Mooney, 3-1 count. That's going to be a 4th straight ball from Mooney, so Tucker's able to reach base. A no-out walk for Riley Tucker, and that's exactly what Catawba needed right there. Gives them an opportunity to tie this game up or walk it off if they're able to get some more people on the base path, with Brianna Hearing now up to bat. She could end this game with 1 swing of the bat. That's going to be another ball from Sophie Mooney. The rain has stopped here in Delonga, so the ball should no longer be wet. No longer an issue for Sophie Mooney as she throws a strike, 1-1. Catawba is in the perfect spot in their lineup with their top 3 hitters all going to come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They trail by 1 run, and that's a big cut from Herring. Is going to be a strike. 1-2 count. A lot of energy here in the stands and on the field as both teams feel the magnitude of this inning. That's going to be a slap foul by Hearing. Mooney came on in relief for Delaney Heberlin back in the bottom of the 4th inning and has done a nice job up to this point, keeping the Indians off the board. On 2 scoreless innings, hoping to make it 3. As Hearing sends this one into the gap in left center, and Lester's going to field it, and Tucker's going to round to 3rd, and she's going to slide in safely. So the Indians have no outs, runners on 2nd and 3rd. So the Indians are now 60 feet away from tying this game up and 120 feet from winning this game and taking a upset from the #1 team in the nation. And Bree Gallagher is going to be up now for the Indians. Infield is playing very far in as this ball is chopped foul. Hoping to get the leadoff runner. Don't want to squander this 1-run lead they have. This ball is slapped to second base. Katie Ward's going to throw it home, and it's not going to be in time as Riley Tucker slides in safely. So that's going to tie this game up 6-6. Runners on the corners now. Still no outs, and Catawba is now 60 feet away from winning this game. They have Herring on second. They could win this game with one swing in the bat from Carrie Hales. That's going to be inside on her, as Herring is going to, or Gallagher, sorry, is going to take second. Big pressure moment for Sophie Mooney. Needs 3 outs, and there's a runner on third that would end this game. And she throws a second consecutive ball to Hales. The Indians can feel it now. They are so close to an upset, and they're going to intentionally walk Carrie Hales to load the bases. Probably a smart decision to give the Nighthawks a force out at home. That's going to bring up Molly Strider. The infield is still playing very far in, even with the base pass, as they have to get this out at home. Brianna Herring is the runner on third that cannot reach home if the Nighthawks want to extend this game. A big cut from Strider as she finds herself in an 0-2 hole now. Bases loaded. None away for the Indians in the bottom of the 7th inning. Already tied this game up 6-6, looking to take the lead and end this game. Strider gets a lazy swing on that one. That's a strikeout for Sophie Mooney. So 1 away here for the Nighthawks. It's a big strikeout for Sophie Mooney. They needed an out there, so 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Catawba still has 3 runners on. Brianna Herring is on third. Bree Gallagher is on second, and Carrie Hales is on first. And Kinsley Caldwell is going to be the pinch hitter for the Indians in this big moment. That's going to be a ball low in the dirt from Sophie Mooney. The Indians could win this game with a hit or a walk. Just need Brianna Herring to cross the plate, and that is fouled on the first base line. 1-1 count. One count for Caldwell, who is coming in as a pinch hitter. Mooney gets her to swing, and then the ball is thrown home. And it is not in time as the Indians walk this one off. They win this game 7-6. They upset the #1 team in the country, and that is North Georgia's first loss here in the 2024 season. Indians are able to come back time and time again, and they're able to get the upset victory against the Nighthawks. Nighthawks go 3-1 on the weekend. The Nighthawks will be back in action next weekend, February 16th, against UNC Pembroke at 2 p.m. here in Dahlonega. Final score again here today is 7-6. Catawba gets the upset victory. Thank you for joining us this weekend. This is Bailey Vessel and the rest of the Nighthawk crew. We'll see you next time.